All right, welcome back to the program. My name is Carl Jackson, guys. I want to shift real quickly to this Secret Service hearing, or this hearing with Kim Cheatle, director of the Secret Service, and I thought a good person to have on to talk about this is Dr. Curry Myers. I'm going to have him give his street cred to you just a sec. But make sure you check out his writings too. Actually, he's on Substack, so you can subscribe to that. Dr. Curry Myers, Currie Myers, Myers at Substack.com. He talks about crime basically, and society in his newsletter. So check him out. Dr. Curry Myers, welcome to the program.
Carl, my friend, it's always a pleasure to be on your show. Thanks so much.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's get into this. First off, I mean, I haven't talked to you obviously since the assassination attempt on former President Trump's life. I've got a lot of questions that I want to bring to you, but before we do that, just real quickly, give people your street cred, and then give us your initial take on what happened, what transpired with President Trump, what went wrong with law enforcement, both federal and, if you have an opinion, on the local as well.
Sure, absolutely. Again, pleasure to be on. A 24-year career law enforcement, retired as the sheriff of a major county in the Midwest, Johnson County, Kansas. It's the largest sheriff's office in the Midwest. Prior to that, I was a state trooper and a special agent, and I did actually many details, especially with former presidents, because they don't get the resources that an active president has done. So I've done this line of work. I'm a professor, I'm a professional in residence at Benedictine College and been so for 12 years now in the criminology department. I have a book out called The Advent of Feral Man that you have had me on the show to talk about before, that talks about the causal reasons for crime and linked to a lack of faith, family, and formation, and an applied criminologist. So I take those years of experience and applied criminology and tell you the facts and how the systems are working, especially within politics today.
Yeah, and honestly, guys, it's. Oh, go ahead, doctor.
No, I and you asked me to give details, and I've written about this on my Substack. Thank you very much for sharing that. This was a complete failure. The first and foremost, what stuck out to me was the lack of operational control and oversight. There was a failure, and this occurred even weeks before President Trump, former President Trump spoke. The inability to have operational control and oversight, even when agents went out in the advance work that was done, was failed. It includes not using crime prevention through environmental design standards that are known as SEPSTED standards that are when you have physical property involved. The inability to treat this president's threat assessment differently than just a former president, I think, was a significant issue. And then there was a huge issue with interagency command and control and communication, the ensuring that robust security measures and command and control is done, that people are able to communicate. And then I think what occurs, Carl, a lot in law enforcement is routine and complacency. And when you do these things day in and day out and nothing happens, you get a bit complacent. And as a result, you have to always force yourself to be in a heightened level. As far as what I saw today, I am shocked with the inability to have transparency and accountability in federal government today. It seems no matter who is speaking, and especially on criminal justice issues, we don't get transparency and accountability anymore. It seems like no one's in charge, and the people that are in charge just continue to refer each other to other agencies back and forth. The director of the Secret Service, I'm very upset with this testimony, with her testimony today, needs to be terminated. It was embarrassing to see her not give information. And imagine, Carl, just imagine for a second, if local or state law enforcement did this in an active shooting situation and they had to come out and brief the public, if it's local or state police, you see multiple briefings by these law enforcement agencies daily, sometimes every 4 to 6 hours, with information to tell the public what is going on, and yet the federal government doesn't do the same thing. It's an abomination.
You know what, Doctor? I'm speaking to Dr. Curry, Dr. Curry Myers, and again, I mean, an extensive history in law enforcement. I want you to hear a couple of audio clips or video clips for those of you that are watching on the Salem News Channel. Apparently, the director admitted today that the shooting was a blunder, and that there weren't any additional Secret Service protection for former President Trump. So I'm going to get your reaction to this clip. Let's go ahead and roll that. Por favor, Mr. McConnell, that's number 3. I'm sorry.
He said he acknowledged the Secret Service had turned down some requests. I'm asking how many?
A denial of a request does not equal a vulnerability.
Well, tell me what it is.
There are a number of ways that threats and risks can be mitigated with a number of different assets, whether that be through personnel, whether that be through technology or other resources.
Well, tell the committee which it was. They asked for additional help in some form or another. You told them no. How many times did you tell them no, and what did you tell them no to?
Again, I cannot speak to specific incidents, but I can tell you in general terms, the Secret Service is judicious with their resources.
Okay. Your response to that, Dr. Curry Myers.
It's amazing. There is a special agent in charge of the United States Secret Service in charge of every protectant that they have under their watch. Former presidents, the active president, anybody else that is associated with Secret Service protection has a full-time special agent in charge and agents responsible for those protectees. The special agent in charge has years of service, is highly trained, and the special agent in charge communicates manpower, labor needs, equipment needs, and all those kinds of things. You should not be denying anything that's requested by a special agent in charge who is in the operational field saying, we are concerned with this, because they're closest to the ground on any potential threats that occur. And the Secret Service director is incorrect when she says that they make determinations on whether or not people have other needs, such as technology or not. The President Trump does not get the same Secret Service protection that President Biden gets because he's an active duty president. That means there was zero air operations, to include drone countermeasures, helicopter countermeasures. There were only 2 sniper teams that were approved. Most presidential details will have multiple sniper observer teams. There was high ground that was not taken advantage of. The roof and where the shooter was at was a perfect location to have a sniper observer team stationed, number one. And the water tower located in town was within a few hundred yards, would have been an excellent place for another sniper observer team to be posted. And we do know that the inability of communication to occur back to the tactical operations did not occur on that day when local law enforcement conveyed the message to the Tactical Operations Center, that they had concerns for what was going on.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I mean, it's just the more I hear about this, and it gives way to conspiracy theory. But I'm apt to believe, Doctor, we only have 50 seconds left in this block. If you could stay with me for another, I would appreciate it. But the more that I hear, I mean, this just sounds like complete and utter incompetence. I don't. It's almost easy to go with the conspiracy theory because this is such a major screw up. But it just sounds like incompetence. 30 seconds.
It is incompetent, but you are spot on, my friend. When you don't give information out, it only adds to miscommunication of what happened in the field in real time, and conspiracy theories will continue to occur until the public and other agencies have more information than what they have.
All right. Well, listen, we'll be back after the break more with Dr. Curry Myers. And I got to brace you guys. AOC actually says something smart today. I'll talk about it when we get back. This is Carl Jackson. Today's show is brought to you in part by Priority Gold. Economists warn that massive tax hikes could devastate your IRA and your 401k account as the stock market braces for impact. With inflation on the rise and global uncertainty looming, it's clear why central banks and savvy Americans are turning to gold. In times like this, Proverbs 21:20 reminds us to preserve what we built. Right now, that wisdom points us towards gold. If you haven't had your eye on gold, time to make it a priority. My name is Carl Jackson, and I am urging you to call my friends at Priority Gold to find out how they can help you diversify your savings with physical gold and silver. Call 1-800-405-GOLD or visit PriorityGold.com/golden for a free gold info guide. Plus, see if you qualify for free shipping and storage. Act now to get your portfolio working for you while the market is golden. Again, call 1-800-405-GOLD, 1-800-405-GOLD to speak with a gold specialist or visit PriorityGold.com/golden, PriorityGold.com/golden. My name is Carl Jackson. Please check out my podcast wherever you go to get your podcast, Apple, Google, Spotify, YouTube, and Rumble. Subscribe, like, share. I would certainly appreciate that. Also, all things social media at The Carl Jackson Show, X, Instagram, Facebook, True Social, Getter, wherever I am on social media, The Carl Jackson Show. And, of course, I'm joined by my guest, Dr. Curry Myers, and I want you to check out his Substack. Subscribe to it, Dr. Curry Myers at Substack.com. If you want to delve into crime and society from somebody that's been there, done that, Dr. Curry Myers at Substack.com. You also have a podcast out now, don't you, Doc?
Yes, I sure do. Every Friday I do a podcast, again, where I talk about crime and the intersection of politics. And I enjoy doing it. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, I got to tell you, Doc. You're one of a kind. I mean, to say that you enjoy, I'm like some of the stuff that we've talked about crime. I'm like, man, God makes different people for different things. That is for sure. All right. So anyway,
that old homicide detective in me, stirs my curiosity.
Yeah. I mean, it's fascinating. It's kind of creepy too, Doc, but it's fascinating. We need people like you. All right. So anyway, let's get back to this conversation with the Secret Service. AOC said something, Doc. I can't believe that I'm saying this, but she tried to take a hit at AR-15s. But she said something to Kim Cheatle that I thought was fascinating, and I want to get your response here. And that is, she said, well, listen, the parameter, why was the parameter around former President Trump shorter than what an AR-15 can shoot? And she read off, statistics. Listen, you can shoot accurately 400, 600 yards with an AR-15. And she was trying her best to knock the AR-15. We know what the left does. But I actually thought it was a great point, Doc. I'm like, okay, the shooter was, 120, 130, 140 yards away. Why not make sure that the parameter surrounding the former president was much larger, at least to the range of a very commonly used rifle? I was shocked that she asked that question.
Well, it's amazing to me because that's certainly, I think it was 140 yards. It looks like that the shooter was out. That is certainly within the perimeter and the purview of the Secret Service. The Secret Service is going to work much further than that because this counter sniper teams are looking at 1,000 yards, even longer downrange when they're out there. As a matter of fact, that's what they were looking at during the Trump event. Is they're looking even further downrange than 140 yards. They were focused way beyond that point, quite frankly, as they should be, because that's what sniper observers do. That 140 yards is certainly within the inner perimeter of the event, and there should have been people staged on it. So it was a great question. I know she probably did it for nefarious reasons, but it is a great question. There was also a congressman that asked another important question. if you want to talk about guns for a second, he asked the Secret Service director, do guns play an important role in the work that the United States Secret Service does every day? And she couldn't answer the question. Well,
What?
Of course they
I
do.
totally missed that.
So he asked her, do guns play an important role in the Secret Service every day in the work that they do? And he had to ask her 6 times, and she would not give an answer. And the simple answer is, well, yes, of course. We are law enforcement officers. Law enforcement officers have guns that are issued to them, and we use these in the protection of the president and dignitaries of the United States every day. And we use all types of different type of weapons and guns in our work. It's a simple answer to do, but it just goes to show you that progressives cannot even answer the question about the use of firearms because they feel like they're getting into a pickle. And I will tell you, I was shocked. I was literally shocked when she says this is 9 days post-event. 9 days post-event, the director of the Secret Service has not stepped 1 foot in the area where the crime she's at, has not been out to that city, probably hasn't been even out to that state. And for the head of an agency to have a significant event that occurred where they have to do it, I would have been on the ground in an hour or two. I would have immediately taken a jet, gone to that location to be with my men and women because they have survived a significant activity, and I would want to know immediately what occurred, what happened, and what we need to do to start changing things. And I would have led it from the beginning until I had details. And I certainly would have showed up to a committee hearing with the information that I had. I certainly would say we may not have all the information yet, but here's what I know thus far.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost as if I got this text from my wife. I think it's really good. I think they want conspiracy theories because that creates more chaos and attention, just like QAnon. I mean, and obviously she's a DEI hire, but I think that people, I don't think people, like Kim Cheatle, want people to understand, or the left certainly, just how inept these people are. And it's, dangerously so. Listen, we only have 2 minutes left. I really want you to hear this video clip, and then I want you to respond to this. It's about a minute long, so if you'll just sit tight with me, Dr. Myers, let's go ahead and roll this video clip number 4, por favor, Mr. McConnell.
Would you agree that this is the most serious security lapse since President Reagan was shot in 1981 of the Secret Service?
Yes, sir, I would.
And, do you know what Stuart Knight did when he was in charge at the time of the Secret Service? Do you know what he did afterwards?
He remained on duty.
He resigned. And Stuart Knight was not a Democratic appointee or a Republican appointee. Look, I'm not questioning your judgment. I just don't think this is partisan. If you have an assassination attempt on a president, a former president, or a candidate, you need to resign. That's what Stuart Knight did. He was a Republican appointee, and he took responsibility. And I think you need to reflect. This is not a question of you. It's a question of the American people. You cannot go leading a Secret Service agency when there is an assassination attempt on a presidential candidate. I would say that about anyone.
Okay. We have less than a minute. Dr. Curry Myers, she can't restore credibility, can she, for the Secret Service? She needs to go.
There's no way in the world she can't restore it with us, number one, with the public, which is most important. But the men and women of the Secret Service have zero credibility towards her now. And one of the reasons why is she hasn't been there and led and been with her people. And so that has devastating effects on leadership. As someone who practices and talks about organizational leadership, this is an absolute failure in so many levels, but it's also a failure to lead. She needs to resign right now, and quite frankly, she should have been fired already.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Dr. Curry Myers, check out his work. Dr. Curry Myers at Substack.com. I appreciate you, man. Take care.
Always a pleasure. Keep up the good work.
Guys, I want to talk to you about wealth protection research. At the very heart of our democracy lies a principle that we hold sacred. It's free speech. It's the cornerstone that supports every freedom that we cherish. Yet in today's digital age, discussions about our wealth, our rights, and our future are being silenced or overshadowed in mainstream narratives, leaving many feeling voiceless in conversations crucial to our financial independence and security. This is where wealth protection research steps in. They're armed with a mission that's never been more critical. Wealth protection research is not a financial advisory firm. They are defenders of free speech, committed to giving a voice to the silence. Wealth protection research tirelessly seeks out financial experts. These are the voices that challenge prevailing narratives, especially as we navigate the uncertainties of the 2024 election. Wealth protection research has created a 2024 election wealth protection report. This free report highlights the 3 best ideas for protecting and growing your money heading into the 2024 election. It contains ideas the mainstream media won't touch, and listeners can get it completely free. All you have to do is text the word ideas to 76626 to claim your free copy. If you believe in the sanctity of free speech and the importance of financial freedom, act now. Text the word ideas to 76626 to claim your free copy of this 2024 election protection report. It's time to widen the scope of what we're told, to hear the ideas the establishment does not think you can handle, and to take control of our financial destinies. Text ideas to 76626 to claim your free copy. If you text the word ideas today, you'll also get a free gold investment kit from Wealth Protection Research, sponsored by Augusta Precious Metals. You might have heard Mike Lindell and MyPillow no longer have the support of the big box stores or the shopping channels that they used to. They've been part of this cancel culture, so they want to pass savings directly on to you, my listeners. They have a $25 extravaganza. When Mike started MyPillow, it was just one product, but with the help of his dedicated employees, they now have hundreds of products, some that you may even know about. Obviously, you know about the MyPillow. So here's what Mike is doing to get the word out. I'm inviting my listeners to go to mypillow.com for their $25 extravaganza. They have a 2-pack multi-use MyPillows for just $25. MyPillow sandals are just $25. Their 6-pack towel sets are just $25. Brand new pack of dish towels, $25. So for the first time ever, the premium MyPillows with the all-new Giza fabric are just $25 as well. And orders over $75 receive free shipping. All you have to do to get this amazing offer is go to mypillow.com, use the promo code Carl, C-A-R-L, or give them a call, 800-858-0263. That's promo code Carl. Guys, listen, I appreciate you tuning in to this edition of the Carl Jackson Show podcast, your daily dose of objective truth in a world of confusion and lies. Please, again, remember to subscribe to the podcast wherever you go to get your podcast, Apple, Google, Spotify, and Rumble. Don't forget to check out below. You can find out where to get the merch, carljacksonmerch.itemorder.com. T-shirts are there. And until next time, guys, don't grow weary doing good. God bless you.